All right, man, we're rolling. Yo, I got Zapata the Ghost.
90 something, 93 until infinity. Either graffiti or thugging in the community. Jump in the bus and it be where you from or what you write. Oh, I know so and so from there, you know you dodge a fight. The older homies had Lolos cruising, they hopping bouncing. Continuation school and nickel bags and 40 ounces. Bumping the walk, man.
Yo, we're gonna be super transparent. This is how this came together. I literally have been thinking about it like all week. I've been catching a lot of your content lately. I mean, I'm sure I've watched some of your interviews now and seen your perspective on some things. So I'm sure you understand like the algorithm nowadays. It just seems like at a certain point you'll just rediscover something, right? And your name, bro. I've known of the name since I'm in San Diego, but I've been going to Los Angeles for the last fucking 20 years. You know what I mean, for hip hop shit, and we have a lot of friends. I think that are familiar with each other. I think we know a lot of the same people. But I always knew your name. And people always spoke very highly of like you and your skill level. And then I would catch tracks here and there, you know what I mean? Like, and then just as of recent, I started catching it again. I caught the Brownsville stuff. I'm a big fan. I think you guys are killing it.
Thank you.
I think the whole movement is amazing. But now, other than that, I know what I know. That's basically it. I want to know you like, and so that's why I wanted to like do this, because I was like, yo, I really want to pick this dude's brain because I could see him working out there. I could see like your vision on the thing, and I would just love to talk to you a little bit more about that if that's cool.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
All right, man. So tell us a little bit about like, I know you've spoken a little bit about your background in other interviews, like, you know, having, I think in your words, like the street pulled you away from a lot of things early on when it came to like hip hop and pursuing hip hop as like as the main thing. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, you know, basically the area that I'm from of Los Angeles, it's near downtown LA. So you had a lot of people that were artists, right? Whether they were graffiti artists, painters, and stuff like that. A lot of us were artists, but you know, the avalanche of the gangbanging shit came through the neighborhood and swept everybody into that. You know what I mean? And I noticed that a lot of us, after the avalanche left and cleared, we kind of went back to initially what we were supposed to be in our real calling, you know what I'm saying? Whether it was graffiti art or tattooing or just, you know, not gangbanging, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what that's what happened with me. I mean, a lot of people, maybe some people might be ashamed to admit something like that, but that's just my truth. Like I'm not a gangbanger. I was part of that, you know what I'm saying? But I'm an artist. I'm a hip hop head, and that's who I am. I have no time to be anybody other than myself at this age, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how it happened. But I mean, regardless though, I'm still tied to the streets in a certain way, you know what I'm saying? In a mature way, you know, but that's not something that I'm gonna not speak on or kind of denounce, you know what I'm saying? It's part of who I am. It's where I grew up. It's the homies that I have, relatives from my neighborhood, best friends, grade school. But you know, now I don't live that life, and I don't, you know, I'm a hip hop dude. That's what I was. You know, I was a b-boy. I was a tape collector. I was an underground hip hop head. So that's my essence. You know what I'm saying? That's my fabric. So, but even the gangbanging shit, that was my fabric too. You know what I mean? Because that was outside of my house. It was that. I always glorified it. We always glorified it as kids, and you know, I became that. But that's not who I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm a hip hop head.
Yeah, and there's a lot of like similar. I grew up in Barrio Logan in San Diego. Same thing. Family members, you know, run the gamut of jail, gangs, jumped in, and I got jumped, guns, but all the stuff, right? But it's like that whole, it's like a story to me that's been told in hip hop like forever, like that
Right.
good kid, mad city thing that Kendrick captured in, in his music later on. But that story has been from the beginning of time since I remember. I always knew homies who had to like, because of where they lived, had to live the way it was there, right? There was rules there, and it's like either or you don't.
Right.
But the reality is, there's rules to those things, and it seems like a very common hip hop story. And when I heard that about you, I got super interested in your idea of like coming out of that. Like, what was it that made you decide like, yo, maybe that's not the route I want to like be on forever? Like, what was it? Was it essentially the art?
I think it was just the common sense. It didn't make sense to me after a while. I realized that. It just didn't make sense that the people across the street from me were into everything that I was into. They like the same clothes, the Ben Davises, the same lowriders. We had the same nicknames. We had everything in common, but yet we wanted to kill each other. It made no sense that we're into the same things, but we hate each other. Like any other ethnicity, if your neighbors were into the same thing, you would more so collaborate with them as opposed to trying to kill each other. So we have so much in common. Why are we going up against each other if we have the same culture? It didn't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of started looking at it in a way that a lot of the homies don't look at it from, because they can't step out of that thick wall of ignorance. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to be lucky to open my mind and my perspective to looking at it from a bird's eye view. Like, yo, this is not making sense. Somebody tricked us. We're bamboozled. We're tricking ourselves. I don't know, but it just didn't make sense to me anymore to have hatred in that way and be willing to die and lose my freedom. And if you ask me why you don't like these guys across the street, I couldn't tell you why. I wasn't there. I don't know. I was just told to hate them, and now I do. And it just doesn't it's not making sense to me. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, man. Some of what I'm saying right now might be, I don't know, blasphemous in the street. But like I said, man, I'm 46 years old, and I have nobody else to be. I can only be me, and I can only tell my story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It is what it is. You know what I mean?
Does that when you think about that, because one of the things I wanted to talk to you about too, because I think, bro, like there's something I want to applaud you for. I think that you are one of these people, I've seen, we have mutual friends who I think are figuring these kind of things out too. But just now I feel like, because people forget how young hip hop really is, you know what I mean? Like we're literally just now becoming adults. We're learning how we're supposed to be as adults in hip hop, and you guys are finding like a very graceful way of doing that, like of proceeding forward without going like, oh, like they stayed too long in this thing, or they're not evolving. You guys seem like you are all into evolving, like even as people though, you know what I mean? Like, and I think that's so important in hip hop, bro, because that part of the story has not been told yet. Because that's not the part of the story we ever want to tell. We always want to tell the part when we're all literally at our dumbest. Literally when we don't know a whole lot. We're supposed to be making mistakes and do that. But that cannot be the dominant voice. Like there has to be something. And I think you guys are doing that. I applaud you guys for that, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Like if I really think about it, I was born in 1978. So hip hop started around 1978. So around 1978. So me and hip hop are the same age. You know what I'm saying? So when hip hop was at its infancy, I was at my infancy. When hip hop was 7 years old, breakdancing, I was breakdancing.
Exactly.
When hip hop turned into Daz Effects and all that, I was doing graffiti. Then it turned into West Coast gangbanging, and I turned into West Coast gangbanging. Then like me and hip hop are like brothers. We grew up the same age. So as I'm getting older, I can't listen to Eazy-E no more. You know what I'm saying? But I also can't knock it because my behavior was like Eazy-E when I was Eazy-E, when Eazy-E was out. You know what I'm saying? My behavior.
Right.
So I was a child, so I get it. They were children too. But nowadays I can't listen to it, and I have to mature. If I'm gonna allow myself to rap, I have to rap about things that I live about now. I can't keep perpetuating stories from 15 years ago or stuff that I did back then. Like I don't want to. It would be foolish of me at this age to glorify violence and losing your freedom. I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? I have a responsibility. I'm 46 years old. I gotta rap and sound like I'm 46, or else I'm gonna look like that. I'm gonna look like that old guy wearing skinny jeans. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
it's just not
Right.
gonna make sense. It has
Right.
to. I have to mature with the music, and it has to sound right. Meaning, it gotta what comes out of my mouth gotta be believable. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. And I feel like it's like that's the way we all continue to contribute by evolving. You know what I mean? Otherwise, what do we learn from you if you're just the same thing you were when you started? You know what I mean? We
Exactly.
never even learn. Like, I want to watch somebody like find their way through. I want to see what happens when the adult mind wraps their mind around hip hop.
Yeah.
And then what do you have to say? Like, I'm interested in that. And I think, bro, like your guys' timing again, like it's impeccable because I do feel like that wave. And this is, I mean, I'm a nerd for this shit, bro. Like I'm
Right.
always paying attention to the movements of this thing, and that is happening right now. That's starting to
Right.
bubble. People are starting to understand. Even like some of the older cats that I'll talk to. Right, I was literally with Tumex this past weekend,
Okay.
and hearing people's perspectives on like how you don't have to be new to put out new shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's just an evolving mind that puts out new shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? You could be any age to do that. And to me that's interesting. And I think it's interesting to a lot of people. You know what I mean? And I think that's you guys are playing a role in that, you know, from where you guys are at.
Right, right. See, sometimes I'll listen to somebody like Jim Jones, right? And that dude he's probably a little older than me, and he's still rapping like he was rapping when he was 27 years old. And
Right.
to me, it's
Like he's in the club.
Yeah, to me, it's a little cringe. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, I don't want to hear a guy your age rapping like you're still a boy. I want to hear you rapping like you're a man. Let's
Right.
hear. But the thing is, with these guys, they're afraid to because they think that they're going to lose that bag. You know what I'm saying? It's that
Yeah.
bag. It's that bag that keeps them stiff in their music. If they experiment with anything else, they feel like they're going to lose their audience or something like that. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? So for me, it's not that difficult because I'm not making money off of this. So there's not a bag to lose. But
Yeah.
even then, integrity is before anything. You know what I'm saying? So
Agreed.
so, I don't know if there was a bag dangling over my head and I've been used to this bag feeding my family.
Yeah.
I might be different too. I might be talking some fuck shit myself. I don't know. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
at the very least, it's logical to understand why someone would be afraid to,
Yeah.
because they see it as gambling,
Yep.
everything they've built up to that point. But I hear you. That is what growing pain is, right? Like that's
Right.
you have to struggle through that part at every level. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like at least that's what I'm finding out. You know,
Right.
like I think very different than I thought when I was 20. You know what I mean? Like that, it's very, very different. Let me ask you about this, bro. Like inspiration wise, was there something or was there a point or was there a person or something you read or a strain you smoked or a mushroom you took that made you go like when you said I started to see things very different, like I didn't want to, was there something that actually sparked it? Do you remember?
I think it was my upbringing because my upbringing was really eclectic. As far as like my father, he was into classical music, blues, classic rock. He used to take me to Buddhist churches, Hindu churches, the Gnostic church,
Wow.
all kinds of different churches and stuff. So
Wow.
inside my house was really like eclectic and diverse. And even the friends that I would hang out with, the friends that I would hang out with around my neighborhood, they were all little gangbangers. But that wasn't my main circle. My main circle was across town with a bunch of hip hop kids, and they were not even Hispanic. They were like different ethnicities. They had bread. Their parents had bread. So my mind was more open than my homies that lived on the block. They had the tunnel vision. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So me having a dad that was sort of a hippie with all these religions and all this type of stuff, and then I had homies that were African, Japanese, Korean. I'd be in their living room eating kimchi, and it just opened up my mind. I kind of traveled without having to travel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just
Yeah.
just traveling like that, so to say, opens your mind up. You know what I'm saying? Just my dad being, like I said, kind of eclectic with spirituality and music, it opens your mind up. So my mind was open and able to see outside of that when the homies, they were closed-minded because maybe their parents were just like Chicanos and all they knew was Cholo or
Yeah.
or Paisas. All they knew was like
They didn't have the tools.
They didn't have the tools, and they couldn't look outside of the fence or outside the
Mm-hmm.
gate to see the landscape. I was able to look out and see the landscape, so it was just nature taking its course. You know what I'm saying? So
wow,
that's how I was able to see that. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense, man. That makes sense. And I'm happy to hear I love hearing these sides of the story because it makes me hear the music different. You know what I mean? Like now when I go back and hear your music again, now I have this information because as I'm watching your music, I'm watching it and I'm going like, all right, this is obviously a dude who's on a journey of evolution. You can hear it. He's talking about it. He's rooted to it. And then I hear some of your interviews, and I know that part of your vision was bringing together. Like you didn't want to just hog the energy. You didn't want to just hog the knowledge. You're like, how could I now then like attach other names and faces to this? And you did that with Brownsville. Like, can you talk a little bit about that?
About Brownsville?
Yeah.
Well, Brownsville is just a bunch of homies that I had been having studio sessions with individually. You know what I'm saying? Like with Quest, I had already been building with him. MOC, I started building with all separately. You know what I'm saying? And then, I just, through messing with them, I'm like, all these dudes have something in common. You know what I'm saying? Like they're Raza spitters, Latino brown MCs that aren't. They just it's something.
They're not stereotypical.
Yeah, they're not stereotypical. Yep. They all love hip hop. They all love fashion. They all love graffiti. They all know the streets. They're all from different hoods of LA, and it just made sense to bring them together, man. I don't know. It was just it just kind of was meant to be. And when I put them all in the same room, it was just like a puzzle piece going into falling into place. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. Everybody just fit perfect, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just worked out. And give me a quick sec.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Hey, turn the signal, the turn signal, turn it left and ignition. My bad. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're good. Bro, so like let me ask you this. You're obviously somebody who's, you're artistic minded, but you're also business minded in a way, not like that it's overt, but you are thinking about a system of attack, a system of planning. That's the leadership skills are there. Like, is that something that again, like you credit to like your upbringing? Like you're like, that kind of carved that out of me, or like, where did you get that part? Like where you're like, I need to organize.
Yeah.
You're organizing. You know what I mean?
Right. The way that I put things, I think it's just my artistic mind that that knows how to kind of curate. Hey, Quest, my bad. Can you put 30 more minutes on the thing? I think it's just my artistic mind that the same way that I chop samples and put them together. You know what I'm saying? The same way that I glue everything together. It's the
same part of your brain.
Yes, the same part of my brain.
That makes sense.
The same way that I put samples together, the same way that I put Quest, MOC, all these guys together. Because I've done it before. I used to have another crew called The Campaign, and we were pretty, we made a nice little amount of noise maybe 10, 12 years back.
I recall. I recall them.
I did the same thing with them. Like I can say I quarterbacked that, and it's just also Magneto. You know what I'm saying? Also Magneto, like with my mind, making things transpire. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. So I think that's where that comes from. Because as far as being a leader, I'm not really a leader like where I dictate. People just naturally want to follow me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just you know what I'm saying? Just because
I think it's the vision, bro. I think that's what I'm gathering from it. It seems like it's just the vision and that you see is very clear.
Right.
And so I think when people can feel that, like people want to be around that, that's something that, because you trust in that, it's something to trust in, basically. Right, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. So it's something like, go ahead.
No, go finish your thought.
Yeah, I think it's more so my vision that my homies, they, like you said, they trust in it, so they're willing to follow. And not like I'm not really like their leader or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Right. They choose me to kind of quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But just because they trust the sound, they trust the vision, and it's not just my vision. It initially was my vision, but now it's a collaboration of
Yeah, they all
different.
seem to be catching fire.
Yeah,
Let me ask you this: do you feel like where you guys are at? Like again, you pay attention to what's going on around you. You see the movement. I assume you guys are at least feeling like the reception when you put stuff out. If you had to describe, like, yo, this is what's happening. This is why people are gravitating towards us right now. Like, what do you think it is?
I think it's for one that Latinos and Raza, that's our main demographic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Raza out here in Southern California, we love a gang. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Mm.
whether it's a tagging crew, whether it's a gang, it's just in our DNA, very tribalistic. Very, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So we just love when we see somebody like, oh, there's a whole gang of them. Like even homies that never joined gangs, they had
Hmm.
fantasies of wanting to be from a gang or
Right.
fantasies of
Right.
wanting to be from a crew. We
From a
just
group.
yeah,
Yeah.
from a crew, a crew.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we just love being part of a camaraderie out here in the West Coast as far as brown people. I think that that is one of the reasons. And then on top of that, it's the image, the imagery. You know, as far as the fashion, the way we look, we don't look like the typical like cholo rapper or you know what I'm saying. We when you see us, you see hip hop. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You see, MOC with the braids. You see, what I'm saying, us, just rocking like the Nautica, the sneakers and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
that makes it appealing. You know what I'm saying? It's really about the image. You know what I'm saying? So when
Yeah.
you look admirable, people are gonna admire you. If you don't look admirable, they're just gonna be like, I look like these guys right now. Like I'm dressed with a black t-shirt and jeans right now. But if you dress a certain way, bucket hats and this and that, they're like, oh, these guys look like there's something. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
and then the lyrical wordplay, our story. I think everything that I think it's just a little bit of everything.
Do you see like if you had to like look out at this year, or maybe you already have it planned, like what do you feel like your path for the rest of the year is?
As far as myself or the
Yeah,
crew,
let's start with you. Let's start with you.
you know what? To be honest with you, it might from the outside looking in seem like I have a plan and I'm just this person that I don't have a plan. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? All I do is put one foot in front of the next, and all right, let's see if this works. Let's see if this is what I feel like doing today. I want to shoot a video. I want to do an interview. I want to do, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really just do and hope it does something. You know what I'm saying? But I don't really have a plan. You know what I'm saying? I'm too much of an artist. I'm not enough. I don't have enough business sense in me.
Huh.
I'm like 95% artist, 5%
Yeah.
business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In order for me to succeed, I almost feel like I need somebody business minded to help me on that part because I'm all creativity.
Oh man, let's put that out there, bro. Like we need to put that out because that's an opportunity sitting there. If you are
Yeah,
that kind of mind and
right,
you're an honest cat and you move shit and you know how to make shit happen, you need to
right.
reach out to a mind like this, like Zapata,
Yeah.
because those types of personalities together can create magic.
You know
You
what
know what I
I'm
mean?
saying? Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
And even though you can say this though, this it's also just an excuse. What I'm telling you right now,
Yeah.
because business is marketing. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
marketing is creativity.
I
Okay?
mean, you're killing it at that.
But my thing is that in order to market, you have to treat it like it's a whole nother craft, like making beats. But I already have so many arts that I'm involved with that marketing is like, bro, I know I can do it, but
Yeah.
I gotta let go of like almost everything to get into marketing. Okay, well, it's just a whole nother craft. You know what I'm saying? So
I will tell you this though, like so, because I think this is helpful sometimes. Like from as an outsider looking in, right? As
right,
just a fan of your music, it looks like, at the very least, like what you are doing is getting attention. So it should at least encourage you on that end. That like, yo, maybe if I just turned it up like a 0.5%, imagine what that'll be like. Holy shit. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, and you know what I mean? Like if you needed to know it is working.
I,
You
I,
know what I mean?
I think it is. I
Yeah.
think it is, but it's not very clear. It's kind of vague. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
like when I'm like, yo, like I don't know. I can't. I don't know what you guys see when you guys see me. Like, I don't know what y'all perspective is of me. But sometimes people will tell me like, "Yo, you were a soundtrack to my life for this, from 2016 to 2019. Your music, or hey,
Right.
you helped me this." So people, when they tell me this, I realize like, oh, okay. But then it goes away. It's kind of like when you do mushrooms and you have an awakening, and then as you come back to Earth, you lose the knowledge that it's kind of like a dream. Like it just disappears. That's kind of the same way. Like when people they'll tell me like, oh, you killing it. Oh, it'll hype me up for a little bit, but then I go back to my perspective of myself. Where I'm like, damn, I'm not doing enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I don't even know if this is for me. Like what am I still doing? You know what I'm saying? And then I'm ready to quit, and somebody tells me like, "Yo, you just a dopest." I'm like, ah. Then I'm like, nah, I can't quit, and I'm back on. It's a little roller coaster of a
My
visual.
G, I will tell you this, trust me, as someone who has interviewed many, many artists, you are not alone. And the better you are, the worse you feel that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
you damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You might as well just kill it. You know what I mean? Because the
right.
reality is like whatever you're creating is connecting. And I mean, at the very least, I think as artists, we owe whatever that source is that is giving us that, we owe at least it to be used to the greatest. You know what I mean? And I see you reaching for that, bro. I hope that you are never discouraged on that level, because you should definitely not stop. It is definitely working.
Right.
I've been in rooms where your name comes up and it's spoken highly of, bro. Or people are like, damn, yeah, they're killing it. So like, I think it's cool to hear that shit as artists sometimes, and we don't do that for each other enough. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, but like, if that's the little thing I could do today for you, like I can tell you that happens for sure, bro.
Damn, and it's funny because a lot of people tell me that, like,
Yep.
your name gets brought up in these rooms, and it's always in high regard. And I'm like, yeah, it's a little booster, not an ego booster, more so like indication of I'm going the right direction. When
Right.
people tell me, I don't really like,
Right.
I don't really, I don't really. When people tell me that, it doesn't go directly to my ego. I save a little bit for my ego
Sure.
just to give me that confidence. But
Right.
most of it comes just as information, like, oh, okay, all right. Kind of like if I'm headed somewhere and I don't have a map and somebody points, yo, it's that way. That's kind of
Yep.
the way I take it when people compliment me, like, yo, your destination's that way. Oh, all right, cool. Like keep going that way. You know what I'm saying? So, but hey, I appreciate that. I'm highly grateful for everybody who's not afraid to give me my flowers. Like I said, only 5% of flowers go to my ego. The other 95% is just good information for me to figure out how to get to the destination.
Yeah, no, and I think that I like the fact that you're at least that I at least was able to, in researching you, like find interviews, because I do feel like these kind of things will help all of it, because I do, as a fan, I'm like, yo, I want to know these things. I want to
Right.
know these things more. And like I said, it almost amplifies the music after, you know what I mean?
Got
Because
you. Yep.
now people will see this, they'll know the story. And now when they hear it, they'll go like, oh yeah, that's because remember he said that thing on the interview. Like those kind of things I think are very important. And for me, the more you do of that, the better, bro. Like I want to see the whole story, you know?
Yeah, most definitely. It all ties together when you hear me speak because my music is not an exaggeration.
Right.
It's real. You know what I'm saying? So when you hear my interviews are real. So it
Yeah.
all ties in together. It's not like my music is an alter. It kind of is a light alter ego, but Zapata the Ghost and Max are almost the same person. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I exaggerate a little bit because I'm an MC, but for the most part, it's real music. So when you hear the interviews and you hear the music, it's almost the same guy. You know what I'm saying? So that makes sense. I appreciate that perspective of it.
Yo, my dude, tell people like if they have not heard of you, where should they start?
Well,
Where should they dive
Spotify,
in?
Spotify, obviously, and YouTube. Just type in Zapata the Ghost. I got Matt videos and interviews. Or Brownsville the Collective. We got a bunch of videos. Any of those two, you'll see me, and it'll take you down the ZPP rabbit hole. So definitely, all the platforms, streaming platforms, and YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And
There you.
Instagram. I just got a TikTok. So
Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, man. Well, bro, anything we could ever do for you, let us know. Reach out. And we are performing. The Invisible Panchos, my crew, are performing on the same bill as you guys in
Black Books and Red Books.
September 28th. Yeah, we're on the other stage across the way. There's 2 stages. And I know all the homies are coming down with Black Books and Rhyme Books. Shout out to Beardo. Shout out to Moody and Wix and all the homies. But yeah, make sure if you guys are in the San Diego area, come out. It's really a rare occasion. The cats that are going to be in the house that day, it's crazy. This never happens. Like all the acts that are going to be in the house that day, it's going to be really, really dope. So if you guys are in the area, come out. You'll catch Zapata and the whole crew out there.
Real quick, do you know 3D?
Yeah, man, Benny Canales. He's so they gave us like a block over on the other stage, and we booked him. He's coming with us.
Oh, dope. That's my dude, man.
Yeah, he'll be there, dude. Shout out 3D, shout out Benny Canales.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite Latino rappers out here in the West Coast.
Oh, bro, you should hear his new shit is crazy, bro. He's really experimenting.
He reminds me of a Mexican Most Def. I don't like the.
Yeah, no. That's a great example.
But he reminds me of that.
That's a great example. Yeah, bro. Thank you so much, dude. Again, like if there's anything we could ever do, let us know. Reach out. Good luck to everything that you guys are doing. And let's make sure to do this again, man. Let's check in often, man. Anytime you guys drop some new shit, come through.
Most definitely. I appreciate you for having me, man.
All right, brother. Talk to you soon.
All right, bro.
Peace. There you have it. Zapata the Ghost. Man. Super dope dude, man. I had a feeling he would be. You know what I mean? You know me and feelings. Energies. We've spoken at length about that. But man, we got a bunch of interviews. This is a cool one to kick it off. If this is your first time tuning into the Invisible Panchos, anything we do is always right here on the Invisible Panchos YouTube page. Please subscribe, hit the alerts. Bro, like it's straight up, you're going to get a ton of content coming up. A ton. You should see the people I already have booked to interview. All really high caliber artists. And I'm going off that feeling. If I'm literally scrolling my Instagram and going like, yo, I like their art, check them out. Yo, I like what they have to say. Boom, I'm sending a message. Let's get them on. So if you guys have ideas, or if you're like, yo, Chris, you should check these people out. Like, let's get these people on. Let me know. You heard the kind of conversations I like to have. I like to deep dive, as they say. Because I think that it's super important. Once you guys know like the essence and the roots of the artist, I think it's way easier for you guys to connect. You know what I mean? And then maybe say you gave their music a chance, a little bit of a chance, you'll give it even more of a chance now, because you're like, oh, I kind of hung out with that guy for, 30 minutes and heard him talk, and I know his story. So I can't maybe any judgments I had before, I got to get rid of them, or anything I assumed. That's what I'm hoping to do with these conversations. And then, give back to my artist community. Hopefully it helps out people. Hopefully people get a few more followers here and there. You know what I mean? Like, it's all good. But yeah, Zapata the Ghost. We should go out with some of his music. You know what I mean? We might as well. And he's an interviewer on his own right too,
bro.
man.
Peace. My name is Jaguar Riola. I'm a hip hop artist and a content creator from the Inland Empire.
That's what's
he
up.
does his own interviews and stuff too. So
the reason I brought Jag on is I'm gonna get right into it.
But I'll let you catch that over there. But yeah, check out his content. He has content on there. I want to see him do more of that for sure. You know what I mean? Boom, 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 clack. So you can't even front, people. Make sure you're subscribed to everything these people do. Let's play this. But I'll see you guys next time. Chris sees the internet, and let me see. We talked about the show, September 28th. Check out our new song right now, Astronauts, featuring Mr. Little One. Video is on this channel somewhere. Show it love. Check out our other songs. Breathe Through, super dope song. All of them, all videos we directed and edited with the help of our friends. So check them out. We're the king of the lo-fi video. Let's play this West Side Royalty. This just came out 3 weeks ago, man. So this is fresh. This is super fresh. All right, man. But we'll see you guys next time, and make sure you guys tune into our Instagrams as well, at the Invisible Panchos. We'll see you guys.
Mine is running miles per hour, yeah, I put the miles in there. Nothing compares to ya. That's what they telling me, heavenly like Sequoia. I never love a hoe, never hoe, half a hoe. Nothing less than queen, I put a stop to you, Samafra. Cause I be king and I'm reigning like the Kunama. From Guatemala, I got a bala to Culiacan. I be the dope, I'm stamped certified a la gran. Scorpio, Scorpion, te pasas, I just go beyond, so beyond past it. Money up in elastic. Fletch, I hit the fetch, I bullseye, glitch, I scholastic. Always on point, always on time, always on rhyme. While I'm searching the corridors in my mind. Looking for a note, a measure, treasure, a rhyme. Rampart Station, training.